Hi, Chris.
Hello.
How are
I'm
you?
just quick finishing my soup, so I'm going to turn off the video, but I'm here. I wanted you to know you had your numbers,
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate
but not going anywhere.
you.
Hi, Greg.
Hi, Dennis. How are you, my friend?
Pretty good. Coming down from a nasty cold. Other than that, I'm here. How about you?
I'm good, brothers. Pushing forward. Pushing forward. I took a little power nap because I woke up at 3. I'm a little sleepy. So
You're a smart guy.
yeah, took a little power. Yeah. Right. And taking it up and keep moving. Yeah. So thanks for being here. I appreciate that. Hopefully we can make some progress on things and yeah, hopefully we can have a quorum. So how you been otherwise?
Quite good, Greg. Lots of stuff going on. It's a good life. I'm not. I'm sort of semi-retired, but there's a lot of things that hold my interest.
Good. That's good. That's good.
I read through the all the applications tonight. I'm glad we got these people interested in serving on the board.
Yeah, I think, well, I'm sure they would be good candidates. No, one of them, he just texted me that he was at an event from someone that was in from Africa, so that's going to throw a wrench in it. Okay.
Greg, could that person go first? And
Well, I'm going to ask him. For 2 minutes. Yeah. 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 Okay. Some in the waiting room. Let me let them all in.
Can anybody hear anybody?
I
Yep,
can hear Michael.
Okay, good. Hi, Teresa.
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
Hi.
Hi,
Hello.
Teresa. Good here.
Okay, I just don't know why my face is not showing.
Let me see, Michael has. Yeah, I don't see your camera. on
Well,
the-
my camera doesn't work on this computer, but I usually have an icon that comes up. And I work on two different computers for different meetings. So
Okay.
the Zoom doesn't transfer. You're considering them two different accounts. It's complicated.
Okay. So you roll like that, you have like a computer.
Yeah, I have,
for-
yeah, you know, I got
a
when I
computer
deal
for
with my mafia,
Monday, a computer for Tuesday, yeah, you roll like that, huh?
yeah, my mafia people don't let me show my face.
Yeah, I understand.
well,
Yeah.
going forward, aren't the rules, once we go back to hybrid, is that you do need to have your camera on? The public does need to
Yep.
see.
Oh, I'll be at the public meetings. I won't be doing it this
Okay.
way. No, I
Gotcha.
intend to be in person. I've actually found this pretty pedestrian. It almost discouraged me from staying in because it's
Yeah.
just, you got to be in person. You got to see people's
I
eyes.
agree. I'm looking forward to it. It's
And me
gonna
too.
be-
I hate this.
Teresa and Laura working hard to make it all the pieces come together.
The tech team, the Zoom.
It's not like you just walk in the door anymore, is it,
the
Teresa?
Zoom, yep, crawl out of bed, yep.
Nothing's as easy as it used to be.
Yep. Crawl,
But I look forward to seeing everybody in person and the public, yeah.
Yes.
okay. And then, we have 5 joining now. Okay. Yeah.
Hi, Grace. And Paul.
Hello, good people.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, Lizzie.
Hello, Dennis.
Teresa, Dennis, Lizzie, Paul, Grace, Chris, Michael, Sarah, and Laura. We're moving forward, but not at quorum yet.
Hmm.
Who are we missing that said they were coming? If anyone. Oh, Dolores.
Dolores is entering the house. Jasmine, I think Jasmine should be here. I know John's not able to come.
I think we need 2 more people.
Need 2 more.
Raheem.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dolores.
Hey, boss lady, Miss Dolores.
Everybody sure is quiet.
Yep.
Shoot, come.
Okay, let me check on our guests.
We have a guest.
Well, the candidates, I'm gonna call them guests until they.
Oh,
Okay, here we go. We have meeting some more.
Has anyone called Carlos? Want me to? I can try.
Sure. Call as many people you want.
Well,
interesting that we have to call people to come to a meeting.
Call as many people as you want. Let me. Hmm. Okay, so let me do this.
Who's the phone number? Is that maybe who I'm calling? Or is that a?
Let me mute myself for a second.
Hi, Chris.
Hey everyone, this is Kareen.
Oh, great. Hi, Corrine.
Hi, how are you? I'm here for a good solid 20 minutes. Or longer, Nisha. I guess I'm just gonna be out. I'm on the freeway. Okay.
Corrine, every moment you're here is solid.
Okay, great. Hi everybody.
Hi, Karine.
Hi.
This is Lizzie, by the way. I don't know if you can
Hi,
tell.
Lizzie.
How many do we need?
We need
You're
13.
muted, Greg.
All right, I'm sorry, someone was reading, so we're reading 13.
13, right?
Oh, you saw me talking? Sorry.
13.
Okay, so
We have
We're a
one,
long
two,
way
three,
one
four,
more.
One more, just one more.
Is Miss Paula coming?
I will call Miss Paula.
Are you asking me to do that or you do?
I will call her. I will call her.
Is Raheem a possibility? Can we call him?
Yeah, there's not very many, we've had sadly the resignation.
Jasmine's coming in.
Okay, yeah. Then we have quorum.
Okay.
Team, we have quorum?
I texted Paula. Yeah, I think we are
No,
fine.
she's here. She's here.
Yeah, I texted Raheem too.
Okay,
Sorry, had trouble getting on.
no problem. No problem. So are we at quorum, team?
Yep.
We're fine now.
Okay, good. So I will start the meeting. I'll do a screen share. Anyone see that? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, good evening, everyone. And today is Tuesday, March 28th, 7 p.m. This is a special agenda for tonight. What I call our last Zoom meeting.
Mhm.
And so I'll review the agenda because we want to be very mindful of your time. We will welcome everyone, call the meeting to order, approve the agenda. We would make sure we have a roll call. And then to review the agenda, space for public announcements, treasurer report. Then we will look at the vacant fantasy applications, then the funding request, one community impact statement, and then old business, and then we will adjourn. Okay. So can we do a roll call to make sure we have quorum, Madam Secretary, Madam Vice President?
You're on mute.
Yeah, who would you like to do the roll call? Usually
All right, yes,
Go ahead,
I'm
thank you.
here. Oh, boy, I'm sorry. All right, so do we have John Arnold?
No,
Do we have Kareem Alprek,
Here.
Christine Carlson,
Here.
Raheem Dawson?
Absent.
Okay. Gregory Jackson
present.
is here. Jasmine Johnson? All right, Paul King?
Jasmine's here.
Jasmine's here. She's just not answering.
Jasmine's here.
Okay, thank you. Carlos Carrick,
Absent.
Michael Kimbrough?
Here.
Thank you, Michael. Sarah Lacey?
Absent.
Well, resigned.
I didn't hear.
She's resigned.
Oh, okay. Dennis Lesky,
Here,
Sarah Long Henry,
Here,
Teresa Masonette, Laura
Teresa-
Meyer. Huh?
Teresa's here.
Did you get
Okay.
her? Yeah.
Laura
I'm
Myers.
here.
Okay.
Here. Laura here.
Laura's here. Lizzie, I
Here.
saw Noriel,
Absent.
Charlie Papp.
She's resigned also.
Okay. I'm here. Dolores Spears is here. Grace Yu.
Here.
Ivy Bordenay Priestley.
Absent.
Okay, so we have 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 present.
Okay.
Just one quick question, Paula, do you want my old records for attendance and training?
Don't I have them?
I still got some stuff here. Maybe I copied and emailed them to you. I don't know.
Sure.
All right.
Okay, so make a motion that we approve the agenda as presented.
I
So
second.
move.
Okay, so let's do that by show of hands. So let me stop sharing that. And I will. Where's my? Okay, good. All right, thank you. Okay, so on the agenda, we have space for any public comment and or announcements. 1 minute per speaker. Are there any general public comments and or announcements? Teresa.
I just want to remind everybody that this weekend at the Benny Potter Park, there is a spring egg hunt, like an Easter egg hunt, but a spring celebration from 10 to 1.
Okay. All right, thank you. Any other announcements? Okay, seeing no hands, we'll go on to the next agenda item. Treasurer's update. So for that, we have review and approval of February monthly expenditure report, or I guess you could do the January monthly expenditure report.
We can do both. Let me start with February per the agenda, and let me share my screen.
Okay.
So this is the monthly expenditure report for February. So I'll go ahead and scroll down. If you would like commentary, I can provide it. Otherwise, I'll just slowly scroll down so we can review monthly expenses. Public storage, Facebook, Best Buy purchases for our meetings, our GoDaddy expense, printing expenses, our web maintenance with Ann Zoomwinkle, and then a couple neighborhood purpose grants for Mid-City Prescott that went through. And that was it. And then I'll more quickly go through the receipts, which are somewhat blurry. I don't know why, but that's how it printed out. BACs for said expenses. Scrolling a little quicker now. If I know I'm going a little fast, but if anyone objects, just tell me to slow down and I will. And this is the last of the neighborhood purpose grants for that month that went through. And that's it for February. Any questions? I'd like to make the motion then for us to vote to approve February.
Second.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, let's have the vote.
Paul, am I correct in understanding we're doing February 1st before January then?
Yes, we're just following the
No worries.
order of the agenda, but yes.
Oh, the agenda actually says January 1st. That's why I was confused. No worries.
Well, I'm looking at a different agenda then, so.
Okay, no worries. Did we have a second on the motion?
Yes.
Greg,
Thank you. Okay. All right. Who's first? Jasmine,
Yes.
Dolores.
Sorry, yes.
No worries. Paul King,
Yes.
Laura.
Yes.
I am a yes. Paula Southern,
yes.
Grace,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Kareen,
Yes.
Teresa,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Lizzie.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Great, let's go on to the January monthly expenditure report. Just, can someone confirm that you can still see my screen and that you can see January?
I confirm.
Great, thank you. So we'll just do the same. I'll slowly scroll down, briefly highlight some of the expenses. We see we had public storage, a neighborhood purpose grant with Ignited Light, and Zoomwinkle's web maintenance work, another neighborhood purpose grant with Mid-City Prescott, a second one with Mid-City Prescott, and then another expense with Ann Zoomwinkle. And now for the receipts. And MPS applications. And it looks like I'm at the end already for this month. Any questions?
Yes,
my
I have a
hand
question.
Oh.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Teresa. You've raised your hand.
Oh, okay, thank you, Paula. So So we gave $900, two separate MPGs for the Prescott group. And then we did another set, a 600 and a 300 in February.
That was my question.
Yeah, there was the banner, and then there is materials for the butterfly garden. And I'm jumping back to February.
Okay.
And this was, it does appear that there's a second one for this similar expense.
I think I have the answer.
Great, go ahead, Laura.
It looks like 1 month, the money was spent, and before that, it was just outstanding. So in other words, we're looking at January where we had approved it, but it had not been a cash check. And then February, they cashed the check. And it came out of our account, or something to that effect. They didn't get 2 cents a check. That is, they did not get 4 checks.
All
They've
right.
2 checks total.
So then that should not be indicated twice.
Well, it's not. On one of them, it was shown as an expense, and the other was shown as an outstanding invoice.
So let's see here.
Yes.
Yeah, this is listed as outstanding.
Okay, expenditures, I got it.
And so in the month of February, Anne is outstanding, hasn't been paid yet. Similar with January. Does that make sense?
Sorry.
No, go ahead, Teresa.
Okay, thank you. So Paul, just if you could just confirm that we only paid them a total of $900 one time.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? If not, I'd like to call the vote to approve the January monthly expenditure report. I'd make the motion for that.
Second, Michael.
Thanks, Michael. Let's go ahead and call the vote.
Great. Jasmine,
Yes.
Dolores,
Yes.
Paul King,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
I am a yes. Grace,
Yes.
Paula, Southern,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Corrine,
Yes.
Teresa,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Lizzie,
Yes.
motion passes.
Thank you.
Great. And then I will go to the third item, which is discussion of essentially our remaining funds. Let me stop the share and go to the portal. Make sure I select the right window. One moment. Can everyone see our funding portal and our budgeted amounts and what's outstanding and then the net available?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so just high level, I'd like to point out our net available is just over 27,000. This is including the outstanding amount here, which has not yet been paid out. But in terms of budgeting for the remainder of the year and then what's going to be left over, I mean, I was looking at what our expenses have been. And Zoom-Winkle is roughly 500 a month. Our public storage expenses are just at the moment just under 200 a month. And then some of our other regular expenses, when you total them all up, it looks like for office expenditures specifically, we're maybe looking at over the next 3 months, a total of maybe 3,000 if we're lucky. And then I know some other expenses that are still going to come through. I know there's some reimbursements for Greg and Laura that haven't been made. I'm not sure if we're ever going to see those, but I hope so. And those are only maybe a few $100s, which means we probably have, if we want to target that, we're going to roll over $10,000 for next year, because that appears to be what we're facing. I'm not sure how we're going to be able to spend, $23,000, $24,000 in the final 3 months of the year. So that means we should perhaps target to roll over 10,000 that we're allowed, leaving a difference of, again, netting out the office expenditures of roughly 12 to 13,000 for the next 3 months. Could be closer to 10 or 11, depending on any of these election related expenditures that haven't come in yet, although I think they've mostly come in. Maybe we should think about reaching out to some of the nonprofits in our neighborhood council to have them come in to request, funding for food, for feeding people, again, to just have them come back and, depending on how many we have approach us, consider higher amounts this time, just to allocate what we have to, needy organizations in our area. And that's really high level, all I really wanted to point out. Any questions or thoughts?
Laura, go ahead.
Yeah, so Paul, if we follow our usual protocol, that would mean any nonprofit would need to for an NPG, come to executive in April, and we'd have to vote for it at the May board meeting. And the reason for that, for those who don't follow the bureaucratic protocols, is that the last check request has to be May 31st, basically. So we can't vote in June to give away money. We can vote in June to make credit card purchases, because we can use the credit card for another couple weeks, but we cannot give away money at the June board meeting.
So it all has to be done by May at the latest.
Correct. And unless we want to have 2 meetings in May, which we do not, I don't think, we probably have to have all of the applications to you guys for the officers by the April meeting of the executive.
So I think that's my exhortation to everyone in the audience is, if you know of any nonprofits, whether they've come to us already or some you think that might have use of some additional funds, let's start our outreach ASAP, so that we'll have enough time for them to approach me or Greg, and we can get them the application, or I can get the application for the neighborhood purpose grant into your hands, so we can get started on this right away.
I would like to request a
Chris?
copy of the neighborhood purpose grant. There's a group in Western Heights that would like to put a grant in.
Okay, I'll send it to you, Chris.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Grace?
So for clarification, for us to be able to approve an MPG, the April executive committee is the last time an MPG can be submitted.
Correct.
Okay, got it.
And can we be reminded of the date for that?
Yes, the date for that would be April,
6th.
yes.
No, the 11th.
It's the third Tuesday. So that on
April 21st.
right, but that
No, April 18. April 18.
so Teresa was right, because they have to put it on the agenda in advance of that.
So I'm sorry, can we confirm it's the 11th or the 18th?
deadline to get you guys an application so it can go on the agenda would be somewhere around April 11th or 12th. So it can be on the agenda on the
20th, April the 20th,
or whenever.
when it would be on the agenda.
Okay.
So,
And
yes, we could-
I'm sorry, is the standard amount about 600
that's
per?
what,
That's what we've been targeting. I think now we're in a position where
Be a
unless we
little
want to
more
lose
generous.
funds. Yes.
Okay, got it.
Mr. Lois is next. Hand is up, waiting patiently.
Yeah, and I can't see hands, so thanks, Greg,
Yes.
for,
Sure.
Thank you, Greg. And I wanted to ask you, Greg, Destiny's group, the last time they came to us, we didn't give them the full amount they requested, right? Am I correct?
I believe that is correct, yes.
So we could go back to them and ask them to come in and request the balance of what they wanted?
Yes, so as a general, yes, Mr. Lewis. So what I could do for all the people that we have funded in the past, I could just send out a general call to them. Just so that they all can know, and it's equal notification of all of our past partners. And then if anyone else knows of someone, then let me know, then I could send them the NPG form. But I'll do that this week.
Could it be to those that we did not fully fund
Yes, it could.
as opposed to everybody that submitted a request?
Well, everyone requested more money than we gave them, except
Okay.
for Prescott. Well, I
Okay.
think in Prescott everyone was asked for more money, but we set the limits. We were very strict this year in what we were giving out. Before, someone asked for, and I'm just using this as an example, someone would ask for $2,000 and we would give them $2,000. This year, we said, we're only giving you $600. So even if they asked for $1,000, we only gave them $600.
Okay.
So I think a general response would be fair to all.
Well, I think part of the reason we put a amount was so that we could encourage and have funds for more engagement with our
Mhm.
with
Yes.
more parties. And so I think it's good to keep that amount, and then we can discuss case by case waivers. I think otherwise, if we have an amount and then we take the amount off, it shows it's not a level playing field for those who came in early. The idea of setting a ceiling was so that we didn't give all our money to a handful and have nothing for people who came through. And we've actually been successful now. We've had a large and diverse group of people come in. So I think it's probably a good idea to continue with that $600 as a general goal, because each group's supposed to be bringing other resources to join with the money we give them.
Mhm.
Paul, could you stop sharing?
yeah, I was just about to jump in and say I'd like to stop the share.
Yes, please. Yes. Lizzie?
Great.
Would it be okay, for the sake of, again, to Chris's point, would it be okay to place a general call on social media? I could easily place a post on UNNC and then share on our Facebook page.
My preference is that we go to our partners who've come to us before.
Yes.
But I mean, I'm open to
I mean, it's just
persuasion.
I just wonder if, we're still, there's not many, again, UNC awareness. I think it's,
Yes.
if word of mouth is more, I'm sure there's so many more nonprofits in our footprint. It's just that for some reason.
I would say there are, but I would think also just the learning curve to get new nonprofits involved, get applications filled out, everything correct. I would rather focus on those that have been through the process this time, and then next year we could focus on expanding the pool even larger.
Start anew. Mhm.
Ms. Teresa?
Yeah.
Teresa, yeah.
Thank you. I just wanted to remind you guys of the World Harvest because I don't think we gave them any money this year and last year or during the pandemic. I know we did. And I just want clarification regarding funding for August. We cannot fund that now. We have to wait until the new fiscal year. Is that
Yes.
correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Nonprofits in the Los Angeles area.
And Laura's hands up.
Well, yeah, I do feel like we've got the gist of it. Paul should help if we were to send out any word on social media. It's just I think Paul should be involved in writing it, and that's all I was going to say. Because we have to be very clear in our messaging that you have to be a 501c3 in our area and doing your stuff in our area. So yeah, I think it has to be a carefully worded thing, and that's all.
Sarah? Thank you, Ms. Laura. Ms. Sarah?
Hi, not trying to rush this along, but we are right at quorum. If we lose one person, we are done. So if we have
Thank
things we want to
you.
get done tonight, yep.
Thank you so much. Okay. All right, anything else, Paul?
No, that is it. Let's move to the next agenda item.
Okay, next agenda item will be candidates review. And so I will share screen again. Okay, so this is Miss Candace Jackson application. Again, to let everyone know, no family relationships that we know of, but Miss Candace is willing to serve on our board. Just as a way of a small introduction, my conversations with her, I could see the attention to detail and the ability to work with groups and bring people together as some of the skill sets that she has. A resident of the Jefferson Park area and seems ready and eager to serve us. So I introduce to you Miss Candace Jackson. Okay, and her package is in the agenda package if anybody wants to review it, but I'll just scroll through it kind of quickly here. Miss Candace?
Hello, everyone. Do I just like say a
Yes.
little bit about
Tell us
myself?
about yourself. Miss Candace, introduce yourself and tell us about why you want, the things you've already said, but repeat them again.
Got it.
Why you want to join the family of Unnc or the board part.
Got it. So, hello everyone. My name is Candace Jackson. Like Mr. Greg said, no relation that we know of. But I've grown up in this neighborhood in Jefferson Park. Went to school here, LA Unified, 6th Ave. And just have great memories growing up in the area, having family in the area. I work in education. Worked as a teacher, worked at nonprofits. So I just love serving people and giving back, and want to become more involved in my neighborhood and help make a difference here. So my motivation is to be involved in the neighborhood that gave a lot to me as I was growing up. And I think because of my current work, I work in policy as my day job. I think that I could help out with, like reading policy, making the impact statements that the committee that the council has to do on behalf of things that come out from the city. So just excited, willing to help. I'm technically an empty nester, but I feel like I'm not old enough for that yet. But my daughter left to go to school, And so like I have a little more time, so I'm just excited to jump in and help. And that's my spiel.
Thank you.
Any questions for Miss Candace? None?
Sarah has her hand up.
Miss
Sorry,
Sarah?
that was from earlier. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Okay, if,
Teresa,
Thank you, Paula, and welcome, Candace. I hope that Greg or the members of the executive committee explain to you the amount of training that you have to take that has been burdensome to some current and past board members.
Okay.
And also, I hope they shared with you the desire that we have as a board to have as many people participate in our outreach efforts. Sometimes we lack participation, and it'll be really great when we have these community events that we have as many board members as possible. So I'm glad they shared that with you. All right, thank you very much.
No worries. I love community events. That's also part of my job, coordinating events and stuff. So any help or anything, like, I'm excited to jump in.
Mr. Lars?
This question is for you, Greg, not for the candidate. At the last meeting we had, I had asked that Dunn be contacted
Yes.
about this. Are these going to be appointments?
These will be appointments.
Okay, so before we go any further, can you give me an update on your interaction with Dunn on
Sure.
this process?
Sure.
Thank you.
We reached out to Dunn, both our NEA and to Thomas Song, about giving them the history of what we're doing and showing them the data. We did that several weeks ago. We called them and we emailed them, and no response from them. Not even an acknowledgement of the question. Nothing to say, stand by, we're processing this, nothing. So we did not hear anything back from Dunn.
Is it a possibility that we could make these appointments and then Dunn will come back later and say it wasn't proper?
I would think not, because the appointment process, we are following the appointment process. If we were going to do an appointment, we are doing all things that we should do. We made announcements about the vacancies. We gave a window for people to apply for the vacancies. And if we have a candidate that is willing to fill a vacancy, we can do so by means of appointment.
So if we make appointments to all of the vacant seats, then there's no need for an election?
No, we still have to hold the election, even if it is a non-competitive seat. We still need to hold the election. The election process needs to be honored and upheld and publicized and executed, even if there's only one person for that seat. So all plans are still to support and hold the election.
So if we make all of these appointments this evening, how many vacant seats will be there up for an election?
All of the people that, I don't have the exact number in my head, but there will be, I know there will be several seats that will still need to be voted on. All the people, most of the seats that are still expiring will still need to be voted on. Like, for example, my seat, Paula's seat, other people's seats, we were still holding an election for that. And then there's some other people that are running for seats, brand new people that we will still hold an election for their seats. So yes, there will still be an election.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Laura?
Well, I just find it kind of odd because Gibson had called me for a different reason related to one of our applications. And he said he was going to email you because he had looked at our bylaws and they do give us the appointment power. So I'm sorry I didn't follow up because I figured he was going to hang up the phone and do that. But, you know, our bylaws say we can appoint and should appoint when we have vacancies.
Right.
So, which says nothing about the election. So I'm sorry to jump in, but it's just weird that he didn't do that, Greg, because he said he was going to do it.
All good.
I think we have a candidate on the floor.
Yes. Okay, so I make a motion that we, so let me move this down. I make a motion that we approve Ms. Candace Jackson to fill the at-large representative seat. This.
I second.
To Group A, seats 1 through 6.
Yes, I have multiple windows open here. So.
Was that Paul who seconded?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, let's take the vote. Jasmine?
Yes.
Dolores?
Yes.
Paul King?
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
I am a yes. Paula?
Yes.
Grace?
Yes.
Dennis?
Yes.
Teresa?
I abstain.
Okay. Michael?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Lizzie?
Yes.
Motion passes 12-1.
Okay.
Right.
Ms. Jasmine?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly at what point, but I feel like in the past when we appointed folks, at some point we did have them step out of the room or like put them in the waiting room. I don't know if that was just like during discussion or during the vote, but I'm wondering if that's still the case moving forward.
When I was appointed, I don't remember being asked to leave at all.
No.
I
More
don't know what it was
importantly,
like before.
this is recorded, and so they can just, anyone can go see who voted how, so.
Yeah, and we had that discussion, I believe, last week also about moving out because, and I know in the past that we have asked people to leave the room. But in the world of Zoom, you can obtain the information. So
Okay, thanks.
I guess we could ask them if they want to leave so they can feel, but give them the option. Okay, so if I may, board, if I could go to Ms. Cooper, she's line D, but if I can go to her next, is that okay with everyone on the board?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I will share. Okay, this is the application for Ms. Cooper, Area Representative 5 Jefferson Park, West Arlington. And with her application. Okay, so we met, Ms. Cooper presented herself at the executive board, the last executive board meeting, and again, a resident of the community, invested in the community. She, the thing that I like about this slate of candidates, that they're coming to us ready to bring their skill sets to do things, to work and to accomplish things. So, a few things that she pointed out in her application. She wants to make sure that her neighborhood is clean. She's concerned about trash pickup, her ability to communicate with people from all walks of life is I'm very impressed with that. The energy that she brings is great. So with that, Ms. Cooper, if you can introduce yourself and I will stop the share and let people. She's meeting with us. She's driving around with the car, making things happen in the community. She's a mover and a shaker. There we go. Miss Cooper. You're muted, Miss Cooper. You're muted. Miss Cooper, you're still muted. Okay.
There we are.
All right. Hi.
Hello, everyone, on this beautiful Tuesday evening without rain. I know we're happy about that. It's supposed to be coming later on tonight, but I am Diana Cooper. I had the pleasure of meeting some of you at the meet and greet on Sunday. Miss Lizzie, Miss Dolores, Miss Laura, I believe, were you there? I believe you were there. And it was good to kind of get off of Zoom and actually interact with some of the council members so that I, as well as what you're getting into and what you're getting into with me if I were to be selected on the council. So I am a resident of the Jefferson Park neighborhood for 20 years, native Angelino. So I've been here all my life, except when I left to go to college. And like Mr. Jackson said, I do believe that everyone has the right to have a clean, safe, and beautiful neighborhood. And if I can contribute to making sure that happens, then I'm up for the task. I shared with some of the council members at the meet and greet how I hit the ground running when I first moved into this area and how the city of LA, I guess they lock your number in when you call. So it got to the point where when I would call, they would say, "Hi, Miss Cooper, how can we help you?" I just thought that was funny. So, would love to have your vote, would love to work on the council. My time will be freed up in about a week or so because I will be going to my hybrid situation. And so I will be able to have even more time to dedicate to the council. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cooper. Are there any questions or comments to share with Ms. Cooper?
Did we say what her background is?
I am a property accountant, property manager, and a realtor. So that is what my current profession is.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Sarah?
I got to meet Diana on Sunday, and she brings a lot of great energy, and I think she'll be a wonderful addition to the board.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Okay, that being any other questions, comments? Okay, that being the case, I make the motion that we approve Ms. Cooper, Diana Cooper, to fill Region 5 residential representative seat.
2.
Second.
Okay, let's call the vote.
All right, thank you. That was Grace who seconded.
Yes.
Excellent, thank you. Jasmine?
Yes.
Dolores?
Yes.
Paul King?
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
I am a yes. Paula Southern?
Yes.
Grace?
Yes.
Dennis?
Yes.
Teresa?
I abstain.
Michael Kimbrough?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Lizzie?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Okay.
Thank you
Thank
all.
you.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. Was that also 12-1, Sarah?
Yeah, 12-0-1 technically, because there were
Okay.
no votes
Okay.
for both of them.
Okay. Okay, moving on. So with the next cases, Laura Master fill the at-large representative seat, Group A, seat 1 through 6 to expire 2025. In Laura's case, She has submitted a tentative resignation letter for the current seat that she is filling. You already know the work of that Laura puts in every day with us, but Miss Laura, you have the floor.
Oh, thank you. So, my application, which I actually took some time to fill out, is also in the packet. So, thank you, Greg. And yes, of course, I want to continue to serve on the board. And what I put into my application was sort of a coalescing idea that I've talked a little bit about for the last year and a half, but haven't done much with. And that would be for us to partner more with all of our nonprofit, organizations that are within our footprint. So I'm calling them community partners. To Paul's point, we should start building up some more people ask for MPGs, but not necessarily right this second. But I am trying to implement that a little bit with how we're going to do our Ciclavia. We've invited community partners to join us at the table, for example. So that's in addition to, you guys know how much I do. And it sounds like we're getting some new people who we can spin some of that off onto, which would be great. So I would appreciate your vote to essentially let me move over and have 2 more years on the board. And then I'm probably exhausted at the end of that. So I did turn in, and you guys have also along in the application, a resignation letter that's contingent on the vote tonight. So I ask for your vote. And if you have any questions, I know you know my work. If you have questions. Well, one question might be, am I going to get a better computer with a better voice? Soon. But we are going to be in person, so that may be moved. Thank you.
Okay. Any question for Miss Laura? None. If not, I make the motion that, hold on, let me minimize this. That Laura Masterfield, that at-large representative group A seat 1 through 6 through 2025. That's the motion.
That's what I mean.
I'll second.
Let's call the vote.
Well, digital, that means.
Can I just ask a question? In this case, it's sort of to Jasmine's point, I don't need to walk out of the room, but I should not be voting? Or
No, you don't.
what?
No, you don't.
I mean, if it was a real election, I could go in and vote for myself, but what do you think?
I think you should vote for yourself.
All right. Call me last. How about that?
Okay, I can do that. Jasmine,
Yes.
Dolores,
You're muted, Dolores.
Yes.
Paul King,
Yes.
I am a yes. Paula Southern,
Yes.
Grace,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Teresa,
I abstain.
Michael,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Lizzie,
Yes.
Laura.
Okay, so again, should I just not vote, Greg? What do you think?
I wouldn't.
Okay, I'm abstaining.
Okay, got it. 11 yes, 2 abstentions.
Okay. Pass. Okay, our last candidate, we will have to present him at our in-person meeting in April. So he's not available tonight, so we'll have to present him in April. Okay,
And,
thank you.
Who is that? Are we talking about Ed Saunders or
Edward
Christopher
Sanders.
Weed?
Yes, ma'am. Edward Sanders. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what about Christopher Weed?
What about Christopher Reed?
I don't know. I was looking there and I saw he was down as a candidate to replace Ivy.
Yeah, that would be part of the regular election process.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Teresa? Yes, Teresa.
Thank you, Greg. I just want to say congratulations to Candace and to Diana. And I also want to say or suggest that we do not move forward in a state of fear. The past president, we were always fearful that we were following incorrect procedures. We were always fearful of this thing and that thing. And I feel like these appointments were because we were afraid we may not get quorum. We cannot rule our board in a state of fear. We have to, I believe, follow. I understand Gibson said we are following the rules. To me, it still doesn't make sense to appoint people in the middle of an election, but it cannot be from a point of fear. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael?
Yeah, I agree with you, Teresa, but I'd like to add or ask a question, Greg. Can you summarize where we are in terms of the seats that are open out of the 23, I believe that we have can you just kind of bring us all up to speed on what all this means?
Yeah, yes, I can. Give me. Michael, can I circle back so I can pull up my list? So
Sure.
Can we go to the funding request, and then after the funding request, then I will have the
Sure,
information up to
absolutely.
share, okay? Does that
Thank you.
work? Okay.
Sure.
Okay, so next we have our funding request. And the
Can I
funding.
please share?
Yes, please. Hold on.
Not yet.
No, not yet. So, and co-host, yes. You are up.
Okay. Can everyone see this?
Yes.
Thank you, Paula. So as you guys know, we have the hybrid virtual conferencing system. It works great at the South Seas House. It's mainly for 10 to 15 people, 12 people. Laura and I have been running some tests at Gramercy. That space is much larger. It also has concrete floors and air conditioning units mounted on the wall. So the sound has not been strong. As strong as compared to the South Seas House. So this microphone will be centered in between our U-shaped tables. It should provide us the additional sound that we need to capture all the voices. We also need an extension cord. The unit, the way things are set up at the Gramercy apartments, the outlets are mounted on the wall, so we need an extension cord. And we need this contraption that allows for additional USB ports. So I would like to make a request for up to $250 to buy these additional equipment to host our in-person meetings.
I second.
Can we call for the vote, Paul, Sarah?
Well, we have
Yes,
to
just-
ask if there's any questions.
Oh, sure. Are there any
Yes,
questions?
just one moment.
Anybody?
I
Dolores?
think we
No, I
trust
don't have any
Teresa to know this
Have any
stuff.
questions?
Just following protocol, that's all.
That's it, that's it, that's it.
Move on, call the question.
All right, Jasmine,
Yes.
Dolores,
Yes,
Paul King,
You're muted, Paul.
where is Paul?
Well,
Paul,
everybody's still here. I don't know.
his
I'll
name
come
is,
back.
okay.
I'll come back. Laura,
yes.
I am a yes. Paula,
Yes.
Grace,
Yes.
Dennis,
Yes.
Teresa,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes,
Lizzie,
Yes.
Paul, are you there?
Hmm.
Okay. Motion passes.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
And Greg, I'll need to host too. I
And
mean,
was that with 11? Sarah?
No, we had 12.
12,
Paul
okay,
was the only one missing.
okay.
Okay, now you're up.
Oh, there's Paul. Mm.
Paul took a walk.
Paul, did you have a vote for the funding request? For the
Yes,
microphone?
you can put me down as yes.
Thank you.
Thanks.
She did quite the spread.
okay. Are we ready? Sorry.
Yes.
This next item is, if I hope I'll be able to find it, but do you remember months ago, we voted to send a letter of resolution to the planning department regarding its plan to revamp the Mills Act, which is the historical properties contract. And I'm going to cancel the share for the moment because I'm having trouble finding it. Anyway, so the city has a program where owners of historic properties, some of those owners have been put into a program where they can get some tax savings, but they have to spend money to maintain their houses. And the program is difficult for the city planning department to administer at this point because city council is not providing funding for staffing or not sufficient funding for staffing. So they had hired a consultant, made a bunch of recommendations that pretty much everyone thought were nonsense, based on their view that the tax revenue to the city was going down, down, down. A lot of people testified, not so much to us, but testified at a hearing on the topic. And many people wrote letters, and there was a lot of effort to oppose it based on, first of all, faulty premise, since the property values in the city of LA have gone up so dramatically during the course of time of the Mills Act program. The revenues from property taxes are way up, so the losses that they were claiming aren't losses at all. They make more money than they used to. So UNNC had written a letter with to turn in with our opposition to the proposal. What happened in January was that the director of planning at a public meeting of the Cultural Heritage Committee submitted a report that said they're not going to do what they were suggesting. They're not going to revamp the program. One of the key bad things was they were going to start canceling older contracts, claiming that they were trying to concentrate the program more in areas with barriers to opportunity, which included our area, but most of the contracts they were canceling are in those same areas. So they said, yep, we've read all the letters, we understand about the money, we're not going to do that. And we're scheduling a actual hearing at Cultural Heritage, the first meeting in March. The first meeting in March came and went. What I heard personally from staff was because the Cultural Heritage Commission was going to turn them down. And they instead opted to go to city council and get a motion on the floor. That happened last week. But the motion on the floor reverted back to the original proposal from the outside consultant. So they're back to saying they're going to cancel contract. They're back to where they started. So we had written a letter saying, basically, we don't like where you started. And this is moving very quickly. So I think we need to do a community impact statement that essentially confirms the original letter. And then we can file now a community impact statement because there's a council file number. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna be able to share that now, the letter that we wrote before, because I figured out how to find it, sorry. But it's completely up to you guys if you want to vote on this tonight or not. I just thought this was a very timely time. So if you can see this, you can tell me, do you want me to scroll fast, slow? You just want to see that we did write a letter. It's from last July. So this is our resolution. Oops, my chicken.
So Laura,
Yeah.
what you're asking us to do now is to reaffirm this 2022 letter.
Well, reaffirm this letter, but also I think somehow we're gonna have to write the community impact statement shorter than the letter and then attach the original letter. But I just feel that when the director of planning writes a report that says they're not gonna do something, meaning not adopt the original proposal by the outside consultant, then go to city council and say, please do a motion that adopts the original report. It's just wrong. I don't know another way to say it, so I think we have to add a little comment to it. So I do think that if we do a motion, the final CIS either needs to be approved on the 6th of April or approved by executive committee. Based on this letter, that's just that new information that's going to council is reverted. They're not adopting the director's report that was made public. They've gone back to something that said they didn't. So
what is your motion?
it would be, did you want me to put it in the chat? It would be to reaffirm our original position and resolution in opposition to the original recommendation report and re-adopt the made recommendations we actually made and comment on the fact that even though the director issued a report in writing that they were not going to adopt the original recommendations, they then went to city council and reneged on the report and asked council's original. I can write it if Sarah needs me to. But I think, Greg, is this live transcript, this meeting? But you're muted.
We will have a transcript, yes.
Yes, so I don't need to write it in the chat. If someone wanted to make that motion. Well, I can make the motion if someone is.
So
Yes.
Is that your motion? You're making the motion?
Yep.
I second.
Okay, I'm gonna stop the share.
Okay, everybody's quiet. Everybody's
Any,
quiet.
any
Call the
discussion
vote.
before we
Call the
vote?
vote.
Is there,
Complicated.
sorry, is there any discussion because we had a motion on the floor before we vote? Okay, Jasmine,
Yes.
Dolores,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes,
Laura,
Yes.
I am a yes. Paula,
Yes,
Grace,
you're muted, Grace.
Grace.
I know, I couldn't get off. Yes.
Dennis,
Yes,
Teresa,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Lizzie.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. And so do you guys think we should draft it and let officers approve it, or do you think we need to bring the final on April 6th?
Can we just do the officers and move it along?
I agree.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Oh, wait, I'll just do that as a,
Thank you.
there we go. Thank you.
Okay, so, Michael, if I could circle back to your question.
Yes.
Okay. Can everyone see this?
Yes.
All right, so first of all, let's talk about my color coding first.
No, do we have to?
Well,
And can we make?
I'm kidding, Greg. Go ahead.
I know you are. Yes, Mr. Loris, is it too big, too small, or what? What? Okay. First of all, the yellow blocks are blocks that we are filling possibly with appointments. The gray blocks are all those that are in their seat till 2025.
Okay.
The tan blocks are those that are their seats are expiring this year and they're are either rerunning or there needs to be a new candidate in it. And we're first of all, we're just looking at this side, column A through E. And so so with this, we can see the whole list of any appointments that we're making, those that are still remaining in position because of their term expires in 2025, and the seats that are open to be filled. And so that was a total of nine seats. So then we come over to this side, and then based upon what we were looking at, like Candace filled the seat that was vacated by Charlie. Okay, all these seats are fine. Taylor, Laura just filled the seat that was vacated by Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
These three candidates, which will be on the ballot, even though we're appointing Ed, we were going to appoint Ed to fill Laura's seat. He will be on the ballot again to fill these seats, like Carlos, Laura's seat is going to be vacated because will it be Ed's seat at that time? Then Paul King's seat, Michael is running for that seat. There's again, as we were saying, will there be an election? There's no competition for the seat. There's only one candidate, but we will still hold an election for that. Paula will run for her seat again. Sarah will run for her seat again. Grace is for 2025, so that Ms. Harwell is running to fill a vacant seat.
Oh, great.
Dennis will remain in his position. Corrine will remain she's running for her seat again. Teresa is to 2025. Michael is running again for his position. Chris for 2025. Greg Jackson is running for his seat again. And then we have Dana Cooper we just appointed to fill Sarah's seat. And then that means Christopher Weed will fill the seat that be vacated by Ivy. John will fill a seat, and the only seat that will remain vacant going into next year is Lizzie's seat, because we don't have anyone seeking to fill that seat. So that's the overview of there's still an election. There's no one is running opposed. It's non-competitive, but it's still an election. And we will have one vacancy. Michael, does that answer the question? And I know it's a lot of information to process at one time, with all my.
No. I can't tell if I'm being heard. Am I being heard?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So no, I really just wanted an understanding of an overview. At the end of the day, we still have one vacant seat that needs to be filled. Yes?
That's correct.
Is that vacant seat an at-large, or does it have to come from a certain geographical region?
It has to come from a certain geographic region.
Can you identify that area?
That is Region 6, residential representative seat 2, Group B. The seat that Lizzie currently fills, Jefferson Park.
Yes, and that's east of Arlington.
So it's east of Arlington, west of Crenshaw?
No.
Okay, so can you identify the area?
Between Arlington and Western.
Oh, I'm sorry, going the other way.
Yes, exactly.
And is that south of Adams? Is that the border?
Yes.
And north of Jefferson?
Yes.
Okay, so the person that needs to fill that seat needs to be west of Eastern, east of Arlington. I know, I'm trying.
West of Western
Say that again.
West of Western, east of
East.
Arlington, south of Adams, and north of Jefferson.
Very good. Okay, thank you for that.
Sure.
Well, to be specific, they could live on the south side of Adams or the north side of Jefferson.
Right. In that box. I was just
Mrs.
trying to
Shelton?
identify what the box was.
Yeah.
Okay, I see it now. Thank you.
Okay.
It's much smaller than Region 5. Yeah.
Right. But also for the moment, we still have nobody in the state for the next 3 months, we still do not have area 1 seat, whatever it is, seat 2, not the seat that Grace is in, but the other one. So that's a vacancy that we seemingly have been unable to fill, period, end of sentence.
Right. And the issue with the vacant seat that's remained vacant for a very long time,
Mhm.
we have, I'm not talking about Lizzie's seat because Lizzie's seat is not vacant, but the other vacant seat, we have repeatedly advertised that seat, sent out, MailChimps and, I know I did the MailChimpy thing like a minimum 3 times, 4 times to get people to fill that seat. So it is an effort to, we want people to fill the seats and we want them to, we advertise the seats because we want to have a full board. So, all right, Michael, does that address your concern? Okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
I have a question, Greg.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know how many stakeholders do we have on MailChimp that's in Jefferson Park?
I do not have that number.
'Cause
I do have a concern about MailChimp's, our MailChimp response. And maybe this is anecdotal, but it seems that for a while we were going up, but then for a while it's like people are opting out. So I just see this as instead of relaxing about our outreach effort, I think we should, as often and as much as we can, to get the word out about who we are in any way whatsoever. I think we should do it. We should,
I'd like to discuss something with you offline about that very thing.
Okay, very well. Okay, all right. Yes.
Laura?
Yeah, I'm just going to give you a bit of an overview. 20 seconds. Our numbers we're holding steady in COVID at about 1,020, and we're now just under 1,000. And it feels that all of the losses have literally been in the last month. So, we haven't had new signups for classes, but what's really weird is that the click-through, people reading them and then clicking through, has dramatically increased. So we have a much higher proportion of people, almost 35 to 40% of the time. And it used to be more like 22% that would even read the email, but we're losing people. And that number is so low, and we do need more signups. So that's it.
Okay. All right, team. So I think I don't think that's it on our agenda. We will meet.
Old business.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Any old business?
Yes, I have two things I wanted to ask about. The new people that were just voted on, when do they get sworn in?
Now, they're members of the board now. They just can't vote on anything because they've never taken any training.
Yeah, they're immediately seated upon appointment when it's Zoom. That was what happened with me anyway.
Yes.
So they don't have to be sworn in?
No.
I was never sworn in.
I was never sworn in.
I was sworn in. Well,
I was sworn out.
But I was
It's only at the beginning of the fiscal year that I remember from my.
Okay. Second question is, what happened with the workbook? The member workbook,
The handbook.
the member handbook.
The executive handbook?
No, the big handbook that's got everything in it we were supposed to have for new members. The last I remember was that Greg and I were working on it, but Laura put a stop to it because we had to update.
Yes.
Don't shake your head, no. Because we had to update the bylaws.
Oh, yes.
We had
You're
to
right.
update the bylaws, and then I think it stopped at that. We updated the bylaws, but we didn't finish the book, right?
Right.
That would be
So-
good to have now.
So Laura, you and I left the executive committee.
Pardon me?
And then you and I left the executive committee.
Yes.
So if we have, so my question is, if that was the stopping point and the bylaws have been added to it, is it ready for review and a presentation and a sharing to everyone's knowledge? Let's talk offline about that too. That'd be nice.
All right.
Offline.
Okay.
Because
Okay,
we might want to do one tiny little tweak now.
let's talk about that
There you
offline so
go,
people can
Larry.
go home.
There
But I
you
don't
go,
want
Laura.
to stop the process. No, I don't want to stop the
Yes.
process.
Okay, the three of us can talk offline about it. How about
Yes.
that?
Thank you, thank you.
please.
All right.
Any other old business? Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate you. You know that I do.
Thanks, Greg.
Being here. Have a good evening.
All right.
I have a question, Greg. Can we have a talk offline and still be on Zoom tonight?
Meaning the two of you stay and the rest of us leave?
Well, I'm just saying anybody can stay. I just had a couple of questions.
Okay,
And
okay.
this is
Yes.
a good
And I have a good-
opportunity
Wait,
as
wait.
any.
And I have a question too, Michael. So Greg, if you adjourn the meeting, can you stop the streaming right now? Maybe we
Yeah.
can all ask a couple of
Maybe
questions.
we can just chat amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
But-
All right.
I just want to say welcome, congratulations and welcome to the new members.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
And
And before you can vote, you will have to take ethics training and funding training within 2 months of today.
That's
well,
one
and the
more.
code of conduct.
Code of conduct.
Well, I'm just looking at the training on the standing rules and it just noted those two.
Yeah, code of conduct
Okay.
first. Then we'll say that within 3 days.
Okay.
We'll do, this is Diana. We'll do, Mr. Jackson has sent an email, I believe, with the links
Okay,
to those
great,
trainings.
great.
Thank
Good
you all
night,
so much.
everybody.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Welcome, new people. Thank you
Right.
for
Thank you.
being willing to serve.